All right, let's just jump right in. We're going to talk about a word today that, well, it can make a lot of us in real estate a little, uncomfortable. And that word is leadership. But we're going to strip away all that corporate nonsense and really look at what it means to lead, not because you have a fancy title, but because of what you do day in and day out.
And it's so true, isn't it? I mean, this quote from Inman just hits the nail on the head. For so many of us in this industry, leadership feels like it belongs in a boardroom somewhere, not out in the field with us. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong?
So, yeah, a dirty word. Where does that even come from? Why is it that when you say the word leader, so many real estate pros just cringe? Let's unpack that.
You know the look, right? You've seen it. Maybe you've even done it yourself. The second someone stands up and starts talking about being a leader, you can almost feel the skepticism in the room. The eyes start rolling.
And here's why. This is the root of the problem. We imagine a leader as somebody in a suit, in a corner office, who has no idea what our day-to-day grind is actually like. But that's just a myth. And honestly, it's a myth that's holding a lot of us back from seeing the leader we already are.
So let's just throw that old definition out the window. What if leadership has nothing to do with a title? What if it's actually a lifestyle? Something we do in 1,000 tiny moments every single day. Let's look at what that actually looks like.
Okay, picture this. An agent who has had a brutal 10-hour day, back-to-back calls, showings, the whole thing, and she still finds the energy to get to the gym and coach her kids' volleyball team. That is leadership. It's about showing up for people when you have every excuse not to.
Or how about this? The top producing agent who could be spending all their time just racking up more commissions, but instead, they take a new agent under their wing. They show them the ropes. That's a massive act of leadership.
And this one is huge. Think about guiding that terrified first-time homebuyer through the biggest, most stressful purchase of their entire life. That takes calm, it takes confidence, it takes a steady hand. If that isn't leadership, I don't know what is.
So when you boil it all down, here's what we're left with. Leadership isn't some big, grand promotion you get. It's a daily practice. It's in the little choices you make and how reliably you show up and, well, it's in who you are, your character.
And this leads us to a really powerful way to think about growth. We have to forget about climbing the corporate ladder. Let's talk about moving forward. It's all about progression over position.
This chart just lays it out so perfectly. The old way, position. That's all about the title on your business card, where you are in the hierarchy, who's in charge. But progression, that's totally different. It's about your daily choices, your consistency, your character. We're shifting from what's on the outside to what's on the inside.
Now, this idea isn't just pulled out of thin air. It's actually based on the incredible work of John Maxwell and his 5 levels of leadership. The core idea is that real influence isn't just handed to you, it has to be earned. You start at level 1, where people follow you because they have to, and you work your way up by building relationships, getting results, and helping other people grow. It's a roadmap for intentional growth.
So where does this all lead? What's the end goal? Well, it leads to what Maxwell calls level 5, the pinnacle. And this is about so much more than being successful. This is about building a legacy that will outlast you.
And this is what it looks like when you get there. At the pinnacle, you're not driven by your own ego or your own success anymore. You're driven by a legacy. You're committed to serving others. You're focused on the impact you make. And, most importantly, you're absolutely dedicated to lifting other people higher.
Man, I love this quote. It just perfectly captures the whole mindset, doesn't it? It's not about the paycheck. It's not about the awards. It's about waking up and treating every single day like a chance to create something amazing, to help someone, to live with real purpose.
Okay, so let's bring this all home. Back to you. Now that we've totally flipped the script on what leadership is, the power to be a leader is 100% in your hands. It really just comes down to a choice.
I want you to really let this one sink in. Whether you realize it or not, with your family, with your clients, in your community, you're already leading. You already have influence. So the question isn't if you're a leader, the question is how are you going to lead? And that brings us to this final critical choice. Are you going to lead by default, just kind of letting your impact be accidental, reactionary, unconscious? Or are you going to lead by design? Are you going to be intentional, purposeful, and deliberate about the positive influence you have on the world?
The path forward is actually pretty simple. First, you just got to lean in, own it, accept that you are a leader. Second, be intentional.
Think about how you want to show up for people every single day. And finally, aim high. Aspire to be that level 5 leader, the one who's all about service and impact.
And so that leaves us with one last thing to chew on. One really big question for you to ask yourself. In this business that is so often about the numbers, what is your true measure of success? Maybe it's not the number of homes you sell. Maybe, just maybe, it's the number of people you lift up along the way.